So, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe SI Talk. Bei mir Keith Dolo Broadly. Wir sind wieder im Cannabis-Sektor gelandet und ja, das Wetter ist schön und jetzt bin ich gespannt, ob er uns auch eine schöne Story vorstellt. Keith, thank you to have time.
Yeah,
I said in my German introduction, we are coming back to the cannabis sector.
Yes.
There are some stories around here, cannabis, and cannabis is the hottest sector at the moment, especially as after Tilray.
Yeah.
But also there are some the consolidated brands investment in canopy make a lot of eye opener for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So this brings a lot of intention back to this market. But you are not a grower. You are not a seller of the product. You're doing total different thing.
Yeah, we're doing a couple different things in the market here. So Sproutly is a licensed producer of cannabis. So we have our license to cultivate, and we're going through that cultivation phase right now. We are. So we will produce our own product, but that product won't go out to market in form of a flower or a bud that people will smoke.
Yeah.
We essentially got our cultivation license in June. We went public in July. We acquired quite a revolutionary technology through an acquisition of a company called Infusion Biosciences on August 1st.
Okay.
So we position ourselves to take advantage of more of the value-added consumer products categories as they start to launch into Canada and globally, specifically beverages to start, and obviously beverages is a hot topic right now. So.
That's surprised me the most, I must say.
Yeah.
Then I always think first that the tobacco companies should come into the market. Then they have all the facilities where they can produce the stuff. They have also the experience how to deliver this stuff.
Yeah.
And now consolidated brands coming in, and they have And also Coca Cola is thinking to do something.
Molson just recently got into it, a big supplier of alcohol products here to Canada, so they're into it now officially.
So and that's surprised me the most.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a replacement for alcohol, or it's being viewed as a potential replacement for alcohol as a substitute. So companies are looking at, and companies like ourselves and many other companies are trying to figure out, how are we going to pull additional consumers into the cannabis market that traditionally never smoked or vaped or smoked a flower or have ever rolled a joint in their life, because that doesn't fit into their lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And finding a beverage type substitute, albeit above and beyond alcohol, sport drinks, waters, functional beverages, to have CBD or THC infused into those already readily available products that people consume on an everyday manner, will allow it to bring in and expand the products.
Okay, that's what was my next question. Then, if we talk about this THC content, and THC is the content who make you
Psychoactive,
and the CBD is the healthy component, I would say.
Correct.
And I have the previous discussion also this week when I here in Vancouver with the other one, and they say, hey, okay, there are around 100 components in the cannabis, and only one of them is psychoactive.
Well, many of them are psychoactive, different versions of THC that are out there, but they're still identifying new compounds within the cannabinoid strains of the cannabis plant. So there's a lot still to be uncovered, but you're correct. The THC is more heavily known towards the psychoactive. Yeah. That would be the alcohol replacement that people type of smoke. Okay. However, you look at Coca Cola announcing that they don't want to put THC into any of their products. They're looking at it as a CBD functional beverage product. They don't want to get into the THC game at all. Versus you talk to somebody like a Molson, or you talk to some of the other companies out there, they are looking for that alcohol type replacement, so theirs will be THC based products. So it's a determination of the CPG or the beverage companies in which direction they want to take their existing products. Some might have both products available in the market. You know, Heineken has a product in California called Lagunitas High Hops. They make it in both a THC and a CBD version for those who would actually like to try the different versions and the products that are out there. So companies will explore different avenues. Some will go towards THC, some CBD, and some a bit of a blend.
So, and the good thing is also, and I think this is a major step forward into the market, is that you coming up, when you have this product, you're coming up with always the same experience what the guy who bought this stuff get. The problem is, I think, I never do this, but when you smoke something, you don't know what is really the outcome.
Well, and I think even more so than smoking it, not knowing the outcome, I think the edibles and consumables and the beverages that are currently on the market today, because they use an oil-based product as the main ingredient to be infused some way through either an encapsulation technology or an emulsion technology, both of which have been around for decades and used in the pharmaceutical world. Because a lot of the edibles, when you consume them, you use an oil-based product, it's really up to your body's metabolism, which could change on a daily basis and could be different between myself and you, how quick your body metabolizes and ingests and is able to transport those oil molecules and process them through into your blood. So some products that are on the market that have oil-based products as the starting cannabinoid take 30 minutes, 45, 60, some even promote 120 minutes before you start feeling the effects, because it's different every time. But I think the common theme throughout it, when you look at products that are available in the market today, more in the US where legalized beverages in the cannabis space are out there currently, they all have an offset time of kind of 4 to 6 hours where your body stops feeling the effect. So I think that's where mainstream beverages are really struggling with right now, is to find a product that a consumer can digest or drink on a social basis, but feel the effects quickly, but also not have the cannabinoids sit in their system for 6 or 8 or maybe 12 hours.
And you have a solution for this problem?
We do, and that was why essentially we navigated through and acquired a company called Infusion Biosciences Canada, which is really the first company globally to produce a truly water-soluble cannabis solution that acts like a true solution in the sense that your body processes it and it goes directly into your blood within 5 minutes, and it's out of your system in that 60 to 90 minutes. So the onset and offset time are substantially reduced. And essentially, they've solved the issue for being a comparison to the alcohol industry because it processes through your body in a very quick manner and time frame, unlike the existing products that are on the market that are using oil-based beverage or an ingredient.
And you are looking for both sides, so THC and also CBD side.
Yeah, we've got different companies that we've been speaking to. As I mentioned before, some of the beverage companies want to go down the path, if they've got alcohol products out there, to satisfy their existing customer base with THC-infused beverages. But then there's also some out there for the CPG space that don't want to get into the THC. They've got brands where they've built a brand and a loyal following, but they are looking for the nutritional supplement side of it by infusing a CBD content into those beverages.
So that's mean your strategy is now you grow the stuff in your in-house, so that you have control over the product itself, the product what you need, that you can make the solution, the water absorbed solution, and then you sell it or you are now make this these beverages for this country or companies, or do you want to sell only the product
ingredient? Yeah. So I think there's a bit of a combination. I think you'll start to see us partner with companies that have existing brands on the shore shelf space where they've got branding, marketing, distribution, so we don't need to worry about handling that piece of the business. But we'll partner with them to be able to provide them a standalone product that nobody else has on the market to be able to infuse into their beverages so they can go to market with a cannabis-based beverage to satisfy their existing consumers. The kind of second evolution of the company will be to be able to produce it ourselves into a finished product beverage or a brand that we own, that when we can distribute not within Canada but also globally.
Okay, strategy, I understand. So that's been for me, there's two major components. First is how it looks like on the growing side, and the second is how it looks like on the deal side on the other end. So what do you can say for both sides?
Sorry, say that again?
So you have on the one side the growing part.
We do, yes.
How it looks like the growing part itself. So in which phase you're working on it, when you come up with the first product and so on.
For sure. So we have a 17,000 square foot facility.
Yep.
It's located in Scarborough, just outside Toronto, Ontario. So it caters to the largest geographic region here in Canada from a population standpoint. We received our cultivation license this summer and are going through the cultivation phase right now. It's about a 4 to 5 month process where we need to prove to Health Canada that we can grow and satisfy their requirements. Once we are approved with our sales license, and which we're shooting for probably January, beginning of February, then we can be looking to put products out to market. And so the company that we acquired that comes with this revolutionary kind of transformational technology will be housed in our facility in Scarborough, where we'll process the grow and the cannabis that we grow at our discretion, whether it's CBD or THC, into a kind of standalone beverage, which we call Infuse 2.0. That beverage then will be either shipped to our joint venture partners to be infused into their beverage at their locations, or we will put it into our own, essentially a canning line or a beverage line to produce our own brand to be distributed under a Sproutly name.
So, okay, this was the first part. The end part, the joint venture partners, how it looks like on this side.
Good, yeah. So I think everybody's rushing right now to figure out how they're going to make a cannabis beverage. So all the companies that are out there, whether it's Molson or the Coca Colas, right down to some of the smaller local ones, the vineyards, those craft brewers that are out there, chocolates companies, edibles companies, they're all trying to figure out their way of how they're going to play into that game. I think you'll see us move much quicker with some kind of small to medium-sized organizations that aren't the multinationals, because they can move a lot faster. They don't have 50 years of brand to protect, and so they're moving quickly to take advantage of the market next year. And so I think you'll see the evolution of our company go down the path of some joint ventures with local or regionalized beverage manufacturers, where we can work with a multitude of them to move the products quickly to market. I think the longer evolution would be to continue discussions with some of the larger international companies, which we are, to see if there's a partnership down the road, or in fact maybe we let that run, and as eventually they would absorb one of the smaller breweries or CPG companies that we're dealing with here locally.
When we see the first product outside from your company, or where you maybe deliver some ingredients to them?
Yeah, so here in Canada, the beverage and the edibles market won't be legalized until probably this time next year in 2019.
Okay.
So once we hit our sales license, you'll see oils, our bio-natural oils, which are also produced through the technology, come to market to compete with the existing oils that are out there on the market right now. So things like capsules, tinctures, and sublingual sprays, or just oils. Our international expansion plans do allow us to work within certain jurisdictions where CBD beverages, like in the UK, are available right now, or into other areas like Jamaica or Israel, where they do have beverages and edibles out on for sale. So albeit Canada is currently where our head office and our first grow facility are, we are looking at some international expansion plans to be able to take advantage of the regulations in other countries globally. Through the acquisition of Infusion Biosciences, we've exclusively licensed their technology to Canada, Australia, Israel, Jamaica, and the entire European Union. So those geographies are where we're going to be focusing on for the near future here.
Okay, I learned something new. Keith, I think it was a good first introduction to your company. I'm here on a regular basis in Vancouver, so maybe next time in January or April, May, we can talk a little bit going deeper.
For sure.
How all the joint venture part is working, and also the growing part is working. Thank you for this first introduction to your company. Ja, wieder was gelernt. Es ist so, dass Sie dieses Ganze, wir sprechen hier von Getränken. Also die haben eine Technologie entwickelt bzw. gekauft und lizenziert, wo sie auf Wasserbasis CBD oder THC, THC ist das, was High macht, in Getränke implementieren können. Und dadurch ist die Absorption im Körper noch 5 Minuten da, verschwindet allerdings auch wieder nach 60 oder 90 Minuten. Während sie die Produkte, die es jetzt gibt, die auf Ölbasis basieren, unterschiedlich vom Körper absorbiert wird, so dass es das noch rauskriegt, und zwischen 30, 45, vielleicht sogar eine Stunde später erst dann aktiv wird, was man meistens dann nicht will, oder dafür einige Stunden lang anhält. So, also auf Wasserbasis ist deutlich besser. So, was ich allerdings neu gelernt habe, ist, dass der Markt erst nächstes Jahr um diese Zeit ungefähr legalisiert wird in Kanada. Also das heißt, Sie dürfen jetzt dann ab Oktober, also in 3 Wochen, noch keine Produkte verkaufen, weil der Markt noch nicht legalisiert ist. Allerdings ist der Markt natürlich sehr groß und es wird dann immer 2 Varianten geben. Zum Beispiel Coca Cola wird nie ein THC-Produkt anwenden, also ein Produkt, das auch High macht, weil das nicht ihr Gebiet ist. Andererseits ist es natürlich so, dass kleinere Brauereien oder auch kleinere Getränkehersteller sehr wohl und viel schneller und flexibler sind. Also da wird es einige Deals geben. Wo sie sich sehr stark konzentrieren, ist international auf Israel, Jamaika oder auch UK. Dort ist es bereits erlaubt und dort können Sie bereits Deals machen. Auf der anderen Seite, das habe ich auch nicht gewusst, Sie haben eine Lizenz, das Projekt, also das eigene Cannabis anzubauen. Die Lizenz haben Sie bekommen, das dauert jetzt nur 4-5 Monate, bis das auch von Health Canada dann abgenommen worden ist, weil das muss bei jeder Produktionsanlage abgenommen werden. Und dann quasi können Sie Ihr eigenes Produkt in neue Produkte einarbeiten bzw. über Ihre Technologie in wasserlösliches Cannabis, CBD oder THC-Content mit THC-Content oder ohne umwandeln. Wichtig ist zu verstehen, dass es immer 2 Arten von diesen Projekten gibt, nämlich eins, wo es auf die CBD-Komponente losgeht. Da wird es auch sicher dann einige geben, die verschiedene Probleme ankämpfen, zum Beispiel einerseits Energie oder auch Schmerzen oder auch Schlafprobleme. Das heißt, man trinkt halt dieses Mittel kurz vorm Schlafengehen, ein bisschen was und dann schläft man wie ein Baby hoffentlich ein. Das ist eine interessante Sache. Wieder was Neues gelernt, dass eben, wie gesagt, dieser Markt erst nächstes Jahr geöffnet wird, nicht heuer, aber es ist eine ganz wichtige Information. Das Wort für Spratly Keys Dolo im September 2018, Vancouver. Tschüss und Baba.
Thank you so much.